my loves, your related girl from Runaway, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And in today's video, I'm coming to you all with a review of Zeus Network's season, whatever, Baddies episode. I think this is episode 3. I don't really remember, y'all. Let's just hop right into it. So the episode kicks off right where we jump off at, in the middle of Persuasion and Ann's fight, which was like really unwarranted and just kind of came out of left field to me. Sue got Ann's hair in between the crossing guard. Girl, where am I at? The crossing guard, the security guard, and she's like, let go of my hair, let go of my hair. And security, Ann was steady trying to kick and steady trying to do stuff, and security like, girl, that's me, that's not Persuasion. And they security breaks them up, and Ann tries to sneak Persuasion. She's like, I'm telling you, dog, I'm not pussy, I'm not pussy. So as Ann is trying to fake sneak Persuasion, Krishan gets hyped, you know what I mean? And Krishan's just like, nah, I want my fade, run that fade back, run that fade back. And it's just like, girl, this had nothing to do with you. Persuasion is just like, nah, I'm out of here. Y'all not jumping me. Y'all are not about to make me the carry-on of the group. I'm like, why y'all gotta throw carry-on into this? Now, see, he ain't even done nothing. So, Krishan is trying to, you know, make it okay for them to fight, essentially. And the producers are trying to be like, no, Krishan, don't fight. And she like, see, y'all don't really want to see no fights, but y'all ain't trying to see no fights. And when she said that, it kind of reminded me of what Mario or Rio, girl, what Rio and Milan was pretty much saying about Zeus, how they be trying to produce those fights and get those big fights up. Ann goes and storms off into her room, and she like, win, lose, or draw, I'm a fight. I ain't scared of nobody. At the end of the day, I'm having fun, girl. I'm bored with these girls. Like, Ann, you look weird. Ann reminds me of this girl I grew up with, and she was weird too. And so naturally I'm just not going to see it for Ann. And then like her antics, if we can even call them that, is very like draining and annoying. One is like, you know, she smothered the blood in the water, so now her antennas is up, and the producers are trying to keep Krishan calm. And the producer is like, see, didn't we just pray this morning? We were just praying this morning. And I'm like, girl, why y'all praying? I mean, not for nothing, you know, you got to give praise wherever you at and wherever you at in your life, but producer, please. Next thing we have Krishan and Ann, and they are in their little bedrooms, and Ann reveals that she hasn't fought since 10th grade. And then she asks Krishan, how old were you in 10th grade, or whatever the case like. And then Krishan was just like, oh, they weren't in the room, they were in the kitchen. And Krishan was like, oh, that's why you know, your heart was pounding, or whatever the case may be. You ain't really know what was going on because you haven't fought. And Ann and Krishan are trying to give off like they are just some fighters, but Ann is not a fighter. Krishan is really about that life, and Ann is just putting it on for the TV, girl. Ann is making TV. The next scene, we have Ann, Krishan, and Rollie, and they're essentially just talking, you know, about the fight. I guess you can say that Rollie's in a confessional, like, you know, I like Ann, I really want to like her, and I want to remain her friend, but it's coming off like she is just performing for the cameras. Like, it's giving, I very much want to be famous. And you need to be careful of that, because the audience will switch up on you on that. And I'm glad that Rollie understands, like, girl, no, because when Rollie they were calling her out for being a bully, and she understands that. But I think Ann has her own fame and her own right, but she wants to be more famous. Like, she's a cloud chaser. She says it herself. Like, she has money, but I don't think her money adds up to the amount of fame that she necessarily wants. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not adding up, and she feels like this is an opportunity to do that. And it's really not making any sense with just her, how she's talking, her rationale isn't there. She's just making TV. Persuasion is talking to Natalie, and she's like, Natalie, I'm going home because, first of all, my $900 wig was messed up, and I ain't even asked y'all to reimburse me then. I'm just, you know, letting it be cool, and then Ann just fight me out of nowhere. Like, they're not about to be jumping on me. And Natalie was like, I know, it's fine. Just calm down, just calm down. Natalie knows how to put on, girl. She know how to keep that talent, you know, kind of calm and get what she want out of them girls. They just talk about trying to make it to Charlotte, and Rollie says something and was just like, I'm just telling y'all right now, don't be fighting on this bus, because I don't care if anybody touch me, I'm swinging. And Ann tries to buck up like, well, who are you talking to? Like, you know, I think Krishan tries to get upset, and she was like, I'm just saying, anybody, Krishan, like, I'm just putting it out there, like, if anybody touch me, I'm swinging. Krishan tried to have a little attitude, but it was kind of like a fake attitude, like, no, why would you say that? Because no, we trying to chill. Like, she's just weird. Her energy is weird. And then Ann tried to buck up a little bit, but Rollie and Ann are flirting like, girl, I'm not gonna fight you because I want to eat your cat, or whatever the case may be. So Natalie, you know, pulls the girl together really quickly to kind of like get them together to go into the bus. And she's like, no fighting, let's go to Charlotte. They're leaving the house, they're walking out, and out of nowhere, Bree just turns around as they're walking out and like squares up with Ann. And girl, apparently the grass was all wet and they just did like a little tumble. It was like a little roll. It was giving very much WWE produced type of vibe. Like, or did they like they didn't even smack each other, they just rolled around in the wet grass. Ann goes in the house. Bree, I don't know what that was about, because if you wanted to sneak her, why'd you like just square up? Why'd you just square up like that? That fight was unnecessary. Bree gets on the van and she's just like, oh yeah, I did have a little anxiety about fighting her because she's so tall, but you know, whatever the case. Nat is like, okay girl, let's switch shoes back because you handled that, you did that. Like, did she really do that? It's really giving me like, remember how they made Dylan and William fight on that first episode? It was giving me that, because like that fight was just like the bushes one. Like Natalie said the grass won in that fight, because it was just weird. You could tell it was instigated and produced. Sean gives Bree a high five, but in the confessional was just dogging her. Ann's going off like, yeah, this just raggedy, you got a raggedy pee. Like, how you know? Why does it matter? What does it have to do with anything? Then the girls are finally on the bus and they do like a cheers with the banana, and this is, you know, Rollie's trick, you know, to deep throat the banana, and Rollie just bit the tip off and she's about to go in and, you know, do her little deep throat trick. And then I'm just thinking to myself, this is Rollie time to shine. She does a nice little cute little situation with the banana. Natalie does, she's like, first I gotta spit on it, and then she does a whole deep throat. She did a gawk motion, gawk 3000 twist tornado combo, and it was cute for what it was worth. They're dancing, getting lit on a bus, having a good time. Ann was in the front of the bus. She didn't want nothing to do with them. They play Never Have I Ever. Never have I ever had sex in a public place. Never have I ever eaten vajayjay. Like, all the girls' hands went down because Sean was just like, damn, okay, like, you know. Tried to do a Never Have I Ever geared towards Ann, but Ann was like, I ain't fuck with them. I'm chilling, I'm sleep, I'm not drinking with them. Then out of nowhere, Sua puts Krishan on her lap, or whatever the case, on the bus, and they start talking, you know, kind of like a heart-to-heart. Persuasion is drunk. Persuasion is clearly drunk. So as they're talking, Persuasion, you know, was just said like, I didn't mean to come off this way, little, you know, I was looking at you like a little sister. Krishan is like, you know, I got 8 brothers and 8 sisters, or maybe Persuasion said that. And, you know, she was just like, I just came into this house and I found out the other day that I had just beat cancer. Like, I was considering putting that on my close friends. I had a pap smear and I was thinking I had cervical cancer, and it's like, I'm 32 and I would have had to get a hysterectomy, and I was, you know, I would not have been able to get my husband a child. And she's just going on and on and on. And Krishan hauls off and say like, yeah, well, I smacked somebody with skin cancer before. And Rollie, not Rollie, Slim jumps in and was like, nah, that's not right. Like, you know, she's really confiding in us right now. Like, this is not a time to be joking. I really think that moment just showed like Krishan's age. Like, girl, read the room. I can understand you feel like, girl, I don't care about you talking about no cancer, but at the end of the day, just have a little bit of like, you know, human decency. If you didn't have anything to say, anything nice to say, she shouldn't have said anything. And I'm glad that Slim kind of jumped in there and said something. Jayla was in a confessional, was like, girl, you had a regular pap smear and it took a biopsy and you ain't had no cancer. Like, don't play with cancer. Cancer is a serious thing. But the whole time Jayla didn't say anything. She just was kind of like watching. And like, really, Natalie and Jayla are definitely in cahoots with one another, because they just had a look on their face and was like, girl, please. But Jayla is popping a lot of stuff in the confessionals, but she's not actually saying it. We're gonna keep an eye on our girl Jayla and see how she's gonna be giving it up. Then I just like how Natalie just got up and gave her a hug, and then like, you know, Natalie sits on her lap. I'm like, Natalie, no, you are not in the same bracket as Krishan, girl. Don't be sitting on Sue a little old lap. I like how she just gave her a hug and they all kind of embraced her. Regardless of how you feel, I think what Persuasion was trying to say is, regardless if she had the cancer or not. Like, that's what she was thinking. You get what I'm saying? It was a possibility, and it put things into perspective. And she didn't want to come in the house on no negativity, because for real, she thought her life was about to change drastically. And I got that. I don't know why everybody else was trying to say that she said she had cancer. Maybe she did say it, was how she said it. But you ever get some news that could change your fucking life? Like, you know, I don't know. If you never experienced anything like that, you probably just wouldn't understand. I never had cancer or anything serious ailment like that, but y'all know I was involved in a serious accident where I could possibly not regain the feeling in my hand. And although I, you know, regained most of it back, it was still a really hard time, because it's like, girl, what would my life look like if I did have to go through this? And when you have a serious situation that happens, it makes you think a whole bunch of things. Not to mention, she was probably lit off the Casamigos. But I think they're dragging her saying she had cancer, when I don't know if she actually said that. She just said that she thought she did. She came in thinking she just beat cancer. She jumped to conclusions, and then not to mention she's drunk. So it is what it is. She just feeling like, girl, my life is for real. I'm not sitting up here trying to argue with you, this little ass girl. And that's what I got from Persuasion. Drop that in the comments and let me know how y'all interpreted that, because I could just be in a sucker, because I'm like that. Like, if I see somebody cry, I'll probably cry too. I'm just that type of person. A lot of people are more cold-hearted than I am, but it is what it is. Persuasion goes off and says she attempted to unalive herself a few times, and you know, she was in a mental institution. And I feel like it's so hard to come clean about certain things, especially in the Black community, especially being a Black girl, especially being a baddie. Like, these girls be dealing with a lot of stuff, and that's what Kashawn was saying. Like, girl, I'm dealing with stuff too. They do a cheers for Persuasion for health, and I thought that was cute. Rock says a little prayer, which sounds like she's a praying woman. You know, she ain't sound new to it. So the girls finally arrive in Charlotte, and the house is beautiful. They have a lake house. It's on the water. Jayla has her own room downstairs with Natalie, and I'm like, yeah, they're definitely in cahoots with one another. She's gonna be bringing back Natalie all the bones and everything like this. Sean and Ann talk about Persuasion, and Ann was just like, you know, how you feel about it? And she was just like, I feel like, you know, I still don't trust her. I'm gonna keep my distance from her. I probably still want to rumble, because at the end of the day, if you want to fight me or you want to apologize to me, don't start crying, make it about cancer, and then now we're cheers into your health. Like, that really wasn't an apology to me, which when you look at it from Kashawn's point of view, I can see that, because Persuasion really didn't apologize. She didn't apologize. She kind of like was just explaining. I don't know if she meant she was trying to apologize. I don't know. But Rock got a point with that. And then she, Rock says something like, yeah, you know, it wasn't even like she had cancer. She had, you know, her juices came back irregular on her pap smear, which again, I feel like it's side conversations having, because does she even know what an abnormal pap smear is? You ain't know what escort was. Like, girl, you don't seem like the type that you really even go to the doctors like that. No shade. She don't give me like, I have an appointment today. Like, I don't get that from her. But you can tell that Jayla, the girls are like whispering around. Persuasion says she got to go to the hospital because Rock scratched her eye or something. I think that's just like dragging it. She's like, yeah, I got to go to the hospital because a hyena attacked me. Like, no, girl. No, that's not what happened, but okay. She didn't get attacked, but you know. Y'all know what I'm saying. So Rollie and Sin were talking, and Rollie was just like, I can't even really enjoy the house and enjoy my time because these girls keep arguing over nothing. And in comes Ann, and Ann was basically pretty much just going over exactly what her and Krishan was talking about. And Rollie says, I don't like how she's supposed to be really cool with Ann, and she's coming, I don't like how she's cool with Rock, and she's coming down telling us our business, which seems shady too. Like, Ann, what is you doing? You do not want them problems with Krishan, I can tell you that. So something happened off camera where Bree went upstairs with Rollie, and their rooms were upstairs, and Ann gets upset because they just had a powwow with, you know, Rollie, Slim, and Ann, and she was like, get her out of my room, get her out of my room. And Rollie was like, she wasn't in her room, she was in my room, and at the end of the day, you're not going to tell me what to do and what not to do. So Ann and Rollie are going back and forth. Krishan is just looking in the background like it's a lot of talking going on. If it was me, it wouldn't have been that much talking that was happening. And Rollie and Ann are face to face. And Rollie is just like, Ann, I'm telling you right now, you're not about to do this. And Ann was like, no, you're not gonna little girl me. But you trying to little girl Rollie if you're saying that she can't have her in your room. And Ann's in the confessional like, listen, I know how the bad girl stuff works, you know what I mean? And she's in my area, then she could possibly go into my room. Rollie feels like you're not about to boss me around and tell me who can and who can't be upstairs or in my space, which is true, which is accurate. And then Rollie was showing a lot of restraint. Shout out to Rollie. We see some growth in you, baby, because Rollie, we all know, she was holding her arms down. I don't know if Rollie was a little scared because Ann got some height on her. Ann looked like she was almost as tall as a security guard. Ann got some height with her. But you know, she was just like, yeah, she ain't slow. She's smart. She's smart. She ain't in my face or whatever the case would be. She's rolling a blunt. Then out of nowhere, girl, Rollie and Ann are face to face again. And Rollie hooks off on her. Look like Rollie gonna get the best of her because one, Ann can't fight. We seen her with Persuasion and with the other girl. They do a wrestle tussle. Rollie's connecting. So we're gonna see how that fight plays out. I feel like Rollie is really showing us a different side to her. She seems a little bit more mature and it's giving me very much Sydney Star. I'm not liking her so far right now. My favorite one is still Rock. My favorite one is still Rock. Rock is a little off. We see that Slim and Rollie gonna get into it because of whatever reason. I don't know. We're gonna see. Slim, you better do something, Slim, because you right now are just seeming like, you know, you giving white girl, you're giving like you Dylan or William. Bree is William or Bree is Dylan. Which one are you, William or Dylan? I feel like whatever. I think it's cute that we have a lot of references to Baddies, Bad Boys Club versus that first Baddies, because Bad Boys Club in LA was more lit than the first Baddies. That's cute to me. Make sure you like this video. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, girl. I really truly appreciate that. And also consider subscribing. If you're watching this video, subscribe. I'm gonna be reviewing it next week, so you might as well. Mine as well, okay? And it also helps with the YouTube algorithm, so my video won't get swallowed up by the big girls on YouTube. As always, I'm sending you much love and much light, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.